PlanetSide is the world's biggest MMO FPS. Thousands of players are able to compete at once in massive matches. There's no instancing. It's no holds barred combat on a huge scale. Lots of FPS games nowadays have persistence in terms of unlocks. You can unlock new weapons, and now your soldier has access to that weapon. No other FPS games on the market besides PlanetSide right now have this idea of territory objectives that are being captured and held, and that level of persistence across the entire game world, not just things that affect your character. PlanetSide also has a much deeper sense of community because of that persistence. Every time you log in, you'll be able to play with your squad, you'll be able to play with your outfit, and you'll be able to advance within your outfit in much the same way that guilds work in modern MMORPGs. In PlanetSide 2, although you are part of these massive 1,000-person battles, the real key gameplay does happen on a squad level and an outfit level with these smaller groups of people fighting against each other. When you're assaulting a base, you're not just getting through one squad to be able to capture that base. There's multiple groups of enemies that you're gonna have to fight against. It's not just the same 5 versus 5 people. It's much deeper than that. As you get further into the base, you're now having to take on different squads of people. There could be people reinforcing with tanks, with aircraft. So thousands of players are able to concentrate and fight in this one area at a time. You're not necessarily going to be walking into a room and suddenly having 1,000 guys shooting at you. It's definitely going to feel much more squad-based and like the fast action that you expect in a modern FPS. The maps in PlanetSide 2 are completely handcrafted to support gameplay no matter where it can happen. Every single corner of the map we want to be contestable, valuable real estate, and we want players to be fighting over it. In PlanetSide 1, a lot of times battles centered around facilities. In PlanetSide 2, we definitely want to encourage players to be playing out in the wilderness, to be playing along cliff sides, and handcrafting those maps and balance testing those maps has been a huge part of the development process for PlanetSide 2 so far. There's no advancement that players can do to mitigate damage. You can't get some armor that suddenly makes my pistol, even if it's the weakest pistol in the game, not be able to damage you. That's something that's absolutely key to making a competitive FPS work, period. Player skill is going to be the defining factor of success or failure in PlanetSide 2. We're definitely doing a lot of the cool, flashy stuff that modern FPS do, like kill streaks, like rampages of killing multiple players within a short amount of time. Those sort of visceral reinforcements to you're doing a great job are super important to us. In PlanetSide, because there isn't an ultimate victory or ultimate loss since the game is persistent, we don't want you to be able to beat the Vanu and then they're done. We're doing a lot of stuff that give you more moment-to-moment feedback on whether you're winning or losing. A lot of things like kill streaks and like sprees. Well, PlanetSide 2 does feature a lot of movement modes and gameplay mechanics that people who are playing more modern games would be used to. Things like iron sights, things like sprinting. We're definitely doing that. We have right now a quick knife that's familiar to people, and we've been playing back and forth with using it as a quick knife or using it as an actual equipable weapon. That's sort of the point that we're at right now with PlanetSide 2, is we're playing the game, figuring out if it's more or less fun with these big swings in gameplay, and then when we figure out exactly the direction we want to go finally, that's what we'll do. If you're a terrible FPS player and you still really want to play PlanetSide 2 because all your friends are, there's going to be lots of different combat roles that'll be open to you. You'll be able to play support characters such as medics and engineers. Engineers will be able to place deployable turrets, repair vehicles. They'll have a very valuable and required role in battle. And each of these roles are going to be required to achieve success and victory. It's interesting that EVE is going the direction that they're going, taking the large sandbox metagame and then adding a first-person shooter onto it. It does sort of feel like, at least in talking about our long-term plans for the game, that we might be doing something that's sort of the opposite of that, of making the first-person shooter game first, making the visceral action game, and then building on the sandbox gameplay experience afterwards. We're definitely planning on releasing a lot more assets, we're planning on releasing a lot more gameplay video, and we're planning on releasing a lot more information about classes, weapons, vehicles, continents, and the different facilities that are going to be in the game. So you should prepare, now that we finally announced this game, to be inundated with new information, and we're going to be doing it on a regular basis too.